He found out that I know how to repair things. Hi everyone. Today we're going to work on a log splitter restoration. The last customer I had for doing on-site processing, he found out that I know how to repair things. So he brought me, the first thing he brought me was they call it a whacker. It's a very heavy gasoline-powered tamper that vibrates real hard and tamps down your gravel or asphalt or whatever you're working with, or dirt. Got left down in the hole, and then it rained and it was submerged under 2 feet of water. I took it and cleaned it all out and got it running again for him. So after that, he gave me his log splitter. So this log splitter is fairly old. Ah, here we go. Wow, that is old. I don't know if you can see that, but that says Agway. So this is an old Agway log splitter. 24-ton ram. He had somebody build him some tables for the logs, which is pretty nice. So this log splitter has a bunch of different problems. The first problem that I need to fix is the splitter valve. So the screws that hold this on are ruined. The holes are all wallowed out, so they need to be probably helicoiled and fixed up. So that's one thing. It needs a filter. We're going to change out the hydraulic oil. The LoveJoy coupling between the engine and the pump is shot. It's missing, which isn't surprising. We're going to do an oil change. We're going to replace the air filter, and the on-off switch is broken. So we have to order one of those. He wanted to do some kind of an exhaust that's better than this. I'm not sure what this is. This is a modification of some sort. That's an aftermarket muffler. It's not the original. So I'm going to try to find either the original muffler to go with it or come up with something better. And then the last thing is the throttle linkage is kind of screwy. I'm not sure what to do about it. The choke is fine. The throttle works, but this throttle arm here keeps coming apart. So something needs to be done there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I will have to think about it. Either make it a fixed throttle, which is perfectly fine for this. There's no reason for a log splitter to have to run the RPMs up and down. You can just set it and forget it. So that's the plan to get started on this. Today we're suffering from the Canadian wildfires. It's very smoky and hazy here. The air quality is unhealthy. I was going to do all the resplits that I need to do, but I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow for that, because I'll be huffing and puffing doing those resplits, and I don't want to overexert myself in this unhealthy atmosphere. Today I'm going to work on the screw threads. I'm going to see if I can get those cleaned up and some thread inserts put in. I have to remove the handle. So we'll remove the link retaining clip. That comes off. Then this top link comes off. And then the main link comes out. And now this is free to move. And now we'll get the pin out. Straighten the cotter pin. Pull that out. Drop the pin, and the handle comes off. Now we'll see how bad this is. I remove. There's only one screw in here. And that looks like a 1/4-20. I'm going to run a tap in there and see what it looks like. I just grabbed a 1/4-20 tap, and we'll just run this in just to see how the threads feel. They don't feel bad. At least that one doesn't feel bad. A little bit of crud. Let's try this one. This one's gonna be a pain because this hose is in the way. Now, once again, these threads feel intact. Yeah, these threads feel like they're intact. Now let's look at something here. This could be part of the problem. Notice there's only a little bit of thread sticking out here, so maybe it just needs something longer. What I did was I got a couple of hex cap screws. I had to take off about 3 threads worth so that they would fit in here and not bottom out. So we'll get these on and see if that does the trick. Okay, they seem to tighten up okay, so I think we'll go with that. I'll try to do that without stabbing myself. The next repair item that I'm going to look at is the LoveJoy coupling. So these are studs, and the nuts are supposed to unscrew from the stud. Not the other way around. Now that one did. So of course the first one, the stud came out of the block that I had in mind. This one seems to be okay. I think this coupling is entirely shot. Okay, this coupling is done. So this whole thing is going to have to come off of here. And I say it's done because all the jaws are knocked off. Well, several of the jaws are knocked off. So the only way to deal with this is to take this entire assembly off of here, which means pulling that hose, pulling this hose, draining the hydraulic oil, which I had to do anyway. So right now I'm draining the hydraulic oil, and it looks pretty darn nasty. There was water in the bottom, and it just looks very turbid and probably a lot of crud in there. So it was time to change it out. And in the process, we will see how bad a condition this hose is in. We might have to replace this. Now I'm going to pull the pressure hose. All right, so there's some oil in this hose. Let me drain that into the pan Some oil coming out of the valve. Not surprising there. Okay, that was not too bad. There we go, good. Grab that. Trying not to let too much of it get away. Now, if you remember from one of my previous videos, which I will link here, the LoveJoy coupling is supposed to have a rubber spider in between each half. So in between the motor end and the pump end, the spider fits in between. Well, this LoveJoy coupling is absolutely destroyed. I've never seen one in this kind of condition. These are the jaws, and there's supposed to be 1, 2, 3 jaws, and as you can see, there's only part of one left on the motor side, and on the pump side, again, there's only part of one jaw left. So this entire LoveJoy coupling needs to be replaced. So I'm going to try to remove this one first.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so what I did was I had to make a little adapter to kind of adapt my 3-legged puller to this motor shaft. The motor shaft has a threaded hole that goes in like 1 inch, and the center screw of the puller would have gone right into it. So don't try to hammer these things off, you'll damage your motor. So a puller is the right way to do it. And now I'm going to see if I can get this to come off of here. Easier said than done. The problem with this, all the jaws are broken off except for one.
Jeez.
So there's one partial jaw on that one and one partial jaw on the other side. So it's destroyed. It has to come off. All right, so sometimes when there's something like this that's stuck, an impact gun will kind of rattle it off of there. So maybe, maybe not, but we'll give it a try. Okay, so this is a close-up shot of this LoveJoy coupling. LoveJoy even has the number on it, an L095, and I'll need that to order a new one. And on a LoveJoy coupling, you're supposed to have 3 jaws here. Well, this one is partially there. The other 2 are gone. And the side that's on the hydraulic pump is in the same condition. So that's toast. I want to try removing the shroud. I can't tell if the shroud will pull off over top of the coupling or whether the coupling is going to block it. I'm really hoping it just pulls right off of there. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, lucky.
Woohoo!
Oops, of course that wasn't lucky.
What'd you drop?
Dropping the screw on the ground.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
Found it.
Okay. Yeah, that was really lucky.
Right, now you can put the puller on it.
Yes. Yep. Notice this coupling here. Once again, out of 3 jaws, it has less than half a jaw left.
Wow.
Back the set screw out far enough, and then then we get the puller again. Now this one I don't need to make an adapter for. You just have to kind of center it. I'll probably still have to use the impact, but I was kind of hoping I could just give it a quick yank here and have it come off. Nope. I don't want the center screw to get too far off course. It's coming off. There we go.
Yay. Ta-da.
Okay, here's the other side. An L095. So on a LoveJoy coupling, the L dash whatever is the part number, and then on this half, the 0.625 is the diameter of the hole, just like the other one was a 0.1. So the other one is a 1-inch diameter shaft. I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to tape the key, so we have a key here. We want to keep that in place. So I'm just going to clean it and then put a piece of tape on it so it doesn't go anywhere.
The one doesn't have one?
It does.
Oh, you do the same thing to that?
Yep. And that's just so the key doesn't disappear. Not like I don't have more key stock, but I don't want to make it. One more thing I'd have to do. So that's it for the moment. I have to order parts, and then we'll continue. So here's the LoveJoy couplings. I had a Spider in stock, but I don't have these, so I just ordered these from Grainger. I will show you next my process for locating these and finding the right part numbers and placing the order for these. I'm on the LoveJoy website, and LoveJoy is a Timken company, and you might recognize that name because they make bearings. And this is an L095 coupling, so we're going to go to the L standard jaw components. And now we're going to look at the L type hubs with keyway inch imperial bores. And now we need to find the appropriate size, so we're going to use the parametric search. And right here is L095. That narrows it down. Bore size 1 inch. And that gives us 2 couplings. And then the keyway looks like 3/16. So the keyway depth is 1/8. Okay. So we have to look here. So 1/4 by 1/8, 1/4 inch wide by 1/8 inch keyway. Alright, so that's this one here. So this is one side. So we'll make a note of this part number. Now the other one. So the bore size is 0.625, so that would be 5/8. Okay, 5/8 bore. An L095 coupling. And now we need to look at the keyway. 3/16 by 3/32. So that's this one. I've written down the part numbers, and now we're going to hop over to Grainger. And we're going to look up the part number. And hopefully, 685, 144, 11091. Hopefully it's there. Hey, what do you know? And that is a Dayton brand. And that's what they sell. Put that in the shopping cart. And then we will look up 685-144-11085. 5/8 bore, 3/16 by 3/32 keyway, Dayton brand. That in the cart. Okay. And now we need to figure out the spider, making sure that this spider is the right size. 29 HZ08. And that's the spider that goes between them. So the LoveJoy couplings, you are ordering each piece separately. And it just so happens that I have a spare spider. So that is the process of finding the proper LoveJoy coupling to match up and the proper spider. Now actually finding the spider is a little bit tricky, but that's done at the LoveJoy site. Jaw type couplings, L type couplings, and then standard, and then spiders. And in this case, they have two different types of spiders. Some are solid and some are open center. This machine that I'm working on can use a solid center. So we'll go there. And again, we're going to use the parametric search. And we're going to go to the L095. And that will narrow it down quite a lot. And they have different material, Viton or rubber, and the difference being that the Viton will tolerate a different type of chemical than the rubber will. So in our case, this last one here is a 25 pack. We don't need 25 of them. We only need one. So the part number we need is this, the 685-144-11070. Let's pick this, and then we're going to go back over to Granger, and we're just going to double check. And this should bring up the same. Product is discontinued. Okay. Well, that's not good. We're gonna have to look up spiders, and that's what this is what I did before. So jaw coupling spiders, and then use Granger's parametric search. And here's the L095, and then we can pick Buna, since that's fine for this application. And that's it. It was one of these. I picked which one did I pick? This is the Dayton, I think. Yeah, I chose the Dayton one. So that's this one. 29HZ08. Yeah, so that's the one I wound up getting. So that's the correct one. That's it. Now I'll place a Granger order and get these parts on the way.